Hello and welcome. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I am going to be reviewing the city Skylines. I've been playing this game for way too many hours over the last couple of days, and I am going to show you the ropes a little bit and give you my thoughts about this game. Well, hello and welcome to my city. This is Spring Valley, the first map and first city that I have ever tried to build, and I gotta tell you what, this city is actually working out here pretty good. As you see here, I'm able to get down here on the ground level and kind of go and take a look around. Now, this is, again, the city I started off with, and I've reached a level of massive success with $5.5 million in my budget, which is a lot in this game, and 76,000 people, which is also quite a few people to go along with all that money I have. I'm probably the richest person around. Although, Meadow Park here is the highest value land spot in my city. So, that's pretty cool. So this game here has a lot of many of the standard stuff that you would expect to see in a city building game. Now, the game that I have a lot of history in is the City XL, and that's the game that I played before I played this one. And I gotta admit, there are some similarities, as you would expect it as a city building game, but that's going to be kind of my reference here. So, as I build the city, there's a lot of many things that you kind of go through. You go through that initial stage of starting to build your city where you just have a few houses and you gotta, figure out how you're gonna be able to get, how you're going to be able to police the area, or how you're going to have your police department, and figure out where the pollution and all that kind of stuff, and work through all that things that you have as far as a mayor goes. But there's not like, you're not forced into this sort of like campaign mode. You're basically thrown into a world where you have just a small amount of land, which is just going to be like this very central area right here. And then as you build up and you reach new milestones, more buildings, more technologies unlock, kind of like you would expect, but the opportunity to buy new land also expands here. So as you can see, this entire map is a place where I can buy new land. Now, since I've already purchased everywhere that is in light blue here, any place that isn't there, I could kind of come over here and see this new tile and figure out, well, maybe this is going to be worth it or not worth it. I would like this area, as I know it has some oil, which is going to be providing me with a lot of exports. Not to mention, look at all of those trees there, so I can craft up certain things and then put it right on the railroad, which is, I know, right there, and that's going to be another awesome opportunity for me to make some fat cash. But this place over here is looking even better, and that's why I've purchased it. However, you can kind of go around and plan out your city as it is going to expand. So this is a game that, in many ways, I haven't found it to be too terribly difficult. However, there is a mod that came with the game that gives you a little bit harder ability to, build into the game. Now, some people ask who are familiar with the different games, and maybe they played SimCity way back in the day where you have a tornado like raging across your city. I haven't seen that happen. What I have seen though is certain tendencies that happen in the game where you can end up with like a giant wave of sickness or a giant wave of something else going on here. And that, goodness, I'm sorry, this airport really is blowing my ears off at the moment, and that's probably why it puts out a lot of noise pollution. Again, a lot of stuff that you would expect to see in a city building game. However, we are seeing a fair bit of people that here, a dead person is waiting for transport. You gotta actually take care of these dead people every once in a while. They do like to stack up. So this is Death Alley over here, and I like to run this place just to burn up the corpses. And it looks like I'm getting a bit of a problem in the city, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. But what I'm saying as far as this game is one of those games that is incredibly addictive. There's always another little milestone, another little thing that you want to get done, and that's why I literally had a day where I played this game for 16 hours straight. I just couldn't tear myself away from it, and that has not happened in years. Now, is it particularly good or particularly unique in any way that I have seen? No, I don't really think so. This is pretty much a city building game that has all of the stuff you would pretty much expect out of it. I know I kind of say that word a lot, but as you can see here, I'm running into a traffic problem. What I've done over here is notice that there's a lot of tree resources, so I'm building up a lot of tree industry, and then the idea is that I take this and I ship it off in my train yard over here. And as you can see, you can kind of get some idea of the traffic and get down on the ground level. I wouldn't say it's the same level as City XL where you can kind of see different people, but it's, you know, I think it's a little bit more serious than that game. The real big thing, though, that this game has that I haven't seen in any other city building game is the modding support. And that really takes this game to the next level. If it was just this game all by itself, I wouldn't be as excited about it as I am. Because with the modding support, not only is it very easy for you to share your game, but you can also add different things on here. Like this bulldozer, this is an add-on right now that automatically demolishes any abandoned building or burned down building. If I were to turn this off and run into a situation where, let's say, I have a massive wave of death run through my city. Matter of fact, I can even show that to you right now. If I go to city statistics, and you can get all nerdy on this stuff, you can see the population changes, and there's a couple of times where it drops off significantly. This is where I accidentally poisoned a bunch of my cities, my civilians, by doing something that would poison them. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it was, but it had to do with a water tower, and for those of you that might have been playing the game already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And there was another drop-off right here, and I couldn't figure out why people weren't coming into my city, and I had to find a little bit of a discovery after I reached a new milestone in the city, and needed to do something to get more people in, which in turn created this huge, massive spike of people. And it's my theory that they all kind of aged out at the same time, because my healthcare has been good this entire time. And then I had a massive plague of people dying, which literally went from 70,000 people, just about 70,000, right down to 50,000. 20,000 people died, and I had to like burn up all their bodies and stuff. It was crazy. But you get all these different graphs and stuff like this that, you know, really kind of help you build into a city. But like I was saying, you go through that initial stage of a game where you can kind of just kind of get your feet set down, and then you're kind of trying to, okay, now we're going to the point where we're going to set ourselves up for massive expansion. And then your city gets all torn apart by massive expansion, and then you kind of got to reorganize it and optimize certain things, because now you're having traffic problems, and you just a lot of different things like that that you really love to kind of manage in your city is able to happen right there. And there's a lot of free building kind of abilities here, even though I'm pretty much working on a grid, just because I mean that's how the games work back in the day when I used to play them, and I know that they're effective, so I've kind of worked on a grid. But there's a lot of this freeform stuff, and you'll see people who are like streaming this game, they're actually looking at it from a high aerial view, and they're building cities that actually have different images and certain things like that, making that effective. So there's a lot of custom ability right there, but people are making their own houses and stuff like that, and that's built right into the game. So let me go ahead and show that to you. Alright, so if you come on over here to your content manager, you're going to throw up this huge thing on your screen full of maps, saved games, assets, mods, and you can even Steam Workshop stuff right here. And you can see a couple of the different things like this. I'm going to show you this one, which is somebody who tried to recreate New York City. I mean, it's crazy stuff. People have even done like Grand Theft Auto 5 or something like that and recreated it as detailed as possible. I mean, there's some people out there with maybe way too much time on their hands, but it's pretty impressive to see that what people are creating and how easy it is to get your hands on stuff like this and kind of just mess around with what other people have created, which really takes this game to the next level, making it much more of a social game rather than one of those games that you kind of play all by yourself, which is traditionally what a city game would be. But you can kind of see here a couple of different assets, and if I were to come down into the tools right here, I can actually do an asset editor, which is going to allow me to basically make whatever I want. So if I wanted to make something that is going to be on this theme, I will jump right into this tool. Okay, I get a little error because I've created stuff that's wrong. Now this opens up a thing where I can make my own intersection, I can make my own park, my own building. I'm going to try the building just because I haven't seen that before. Alright, so here's a new template. So you can start with different things. I can make my own power generation. Let's see if I can make a new power plant somehow. And it's going to be a scale of 2. Okay. Alright, so there's all these different little props. What is this? Oh, I'm putting signs on it now. There we go. I mean, you can customize these buildings so detailed, and there's some people out there doing a really amazing job of this. Holy moly, look at all this stuff. I actually have not messed with this, but it's pretty impressive. Oh, okay, so this is where people can gather around the building? What? What? Oh, this is amazing. This is like the full access to tools that people are probably using to make this game. Even though I have no idea how to actually build a building, I can come in here and place stuff down. And I mean, you could see just how amazing this could get. And there's some people out there, again, doing really awesome stuff. Oh, electricity production. I could make this 500,000 and just incredibly make a building that's just insane. And it would probably be overpowered. But you get the idea of you can customize your own buildings here if I wanted to. I'm not going to just because I don't know what I'm doing there. But let me load a different asset. Alright, here we go. Now this is an intersection that I've kind of built here. It's very expensive, but it's one of the biggest roads, and the idea is that I can manage a lot of traffic that's going to come up here to this giant roundabout, and I can build buildings here and throw roads underneath this. So this is kind of a pre-built thing that I've designed, and it's not in the game, but it's my own unique thing. And then I can take this and I can share it on the Steam Workshop. Not to mention the different mods that I've seen. There's some people that are doing some practical things like upgrading roads to single direction, which isn't part of the game. However, you can upgrade roads. And the other mod that you saw there, which would automatically demolish abandoned buildings, which you would normally have to do by yourself. So you get the idea that tornadoes might not be something that is too far off once people figure out how to program it. Alright, so here we are now in New York City, and somebody has created this, and I'll put the link down in the description below, but I just didn't take a look at it before I started creating all this. However, in conclusion, when it comes to cities skylines right now, if you are looking for a fresh city sort of building game, you're definitely going to find it here, and you're probably really going to enjoy your time and probably spend too many hours playing this game. And I tell you what, this game on its own is pretty good. It's pretty standard. You're going to notice a lot of similarities between a lot of games. But venture into that modding community and get involved as far as what they have on the Steam Workshop, and holy cow, this game is going to open up into a city game that we've never seen before. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this new game and it gives you some sort of advice and figure out if this is going to be something that you're going to partake in as well. I know I've been personally having a lot of fun with it, and I don't know if I'm going to create a series of this or not on my channel, but I mean, look at this. This guy even redid Central Park, and I don't know. It's just kind of, it's the most impressive city building game that I've seen to date. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace. Brothgar out.